Turn your radios up. Turn your radios up. Y'all know what this is. Y'all know who this is. B-Eazy Dat Dude, an impromptu stream, back with another one. This one is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be controversial, but it's gonna be a banger, and it's gonna be a doozy. So I don't like to keep y'all waiting. Before we get this thing started, you know, I gotta hit you.
If you know the song, sing along. Yeah, you're right.
私も地元民と言っても自分は世代です。もう友達できたの？うん。ぶったまんまこっち見ない方がいいかな。
Look, this promethazine got me leaning like a cholo in the club. I'm 20 deep. I don't be riding solo. Pull some bad bitches, they vanilla and cocoa. They wanna take some photos when we kick it out in Soho. Chicks are showing tits and popping pussy for my promo. Told them like juvenile, baby, move it for me slow-mo. Then I'm right back to the block, cause I keep getting modo. I be flipping, not shrinking. I don't give a fuck about no ho, no ho. This nigga name ain't D-Lo, but pimpin' these bitches and stacking this bread forever be my stilo. This is B-Eazy Dat Dude in the trap making pass smooth. If I ever go broke, then I'm about to pull a jack move. Since a nigga healthy, I don't even gotta worry. With my bitch from Fiji eating tandoori and chicken curry, that ism is really indie. My pimp game international. I design my own clothes, so I be always looking fashionable. Here's a couple facts about me that y'all didn't know. Some of y'all be getting bread, but I be getting bigger, dawg. I got bigger guns and a whole lot of bad.
And we are activated. So we gonna get right into this thing. The video that I'm gonna be discussing today is a reaction video from a very solid channel, Street Media TV. The person that runs this channel is a brother by the name, I think his name is George Macon. I can't remember his name, his first name, so I'll just call him Mr. Macon. So salute to that brother. So right now what we're going to discuss is there is a notorious anti-black acolyte, a step and fetch it Sambo. He goes by the name of Jesse Lee Peterson. The dude is a very grotesque, moist maniac. And for some reason, people still like to entertain him. I know he's a troll, an imbecile. Sometimes people go on there and give him attention for clout. But I think people just need to just let this dude fade off into irrelevancy. But many people of the dominant society, they like to pay this dude to say the most disgusting anti-black things ever. But there are some allegations that Jesse Lee Peterson likes man booty. Now, I don't know if he's topping, I don't know if he's bottoming, but yeah, there is a proclivity for him to like to fondle man booty, but let's get into that. Let's commence.
Dude is crazy. For the life of me, I don't know why people even still go on this show, man. I just like at this point it's comedy. He already been exposed as, you know, as a Tinkerbell already, right? But people still go on to his show. They sit on their couch and have conversations, and he asks the dumbest questions. Now, this guy's supposed to be Christian minimalist, TK Coleman. He went on to the show, and I guess he was acting like he didn't know who Jesse Lee Peterson, Mr. Tinkerbell, was, aka lover of manhole, right? He didn't.
Yes, Jesse Lee Peterson, aka the step and fetch it Sambo, and the lover of manhole, the manhole loving maniac. But I would be remiss if I didn't give some shout outs to the illustrious guest that slid through already. Ashura, Sock Passe, coming straight from Canada in building, none other than the exquisite Jackie Gaines in building. Ronnie Q, the political dynamo, what it did it do? Ronnie Q in building, and none other than the intellectual soapbox. Salute to you and keep doing what you do. And also the hardest working mod on YouTube, Vibrant Law in building. Let's get back into it.
He acted like he didn't know who he is. So he was at when Peterson was asking questions, he was just answering them in good faith, right? But at some point, he started to figure out that this dude is a troll. But Jesse Lee is just weird. Check it out.
What's wrong with the blacks?
What's wrong with the blacks? Like Black Fridays?
What?
Black Fridays? It's a scam, man. It plays off people's FOMO by creating an artificial sense of scarcity.
I don't understand.
You asked what's wrong with the blacks, right?
Right.
I'm saying I've never liked Black Fridays.
You don't like the black people?
Oh, black people, my bad. I'm black and I'm slow, man.
And this guy, man, you know, the ship is just leaking oil with Jesse Lee Peterson. Nobody cares anything about Jesse Lee Peterson. You know, he's been in the game for a long time, and all the people he started out with, they all surpassed him. The numbers is reflecting it. People done caught on to him, and no.
So Jesse Lee Peterson is a one-trick pony. All he has to say is, what's wrong with the blacks? Why do y'all hate white people? If y'all didn't have white people, y'all would die out. So his whole shtick is not only, you know, because some people butt kiss. Jesse Lee Peterson takes it not just a step further, several steps further. So some people, they like to be suck ups and kiss ups. He doesn't just kiss booties, he kisses the cheeks. Then he firmly grips them, spreads and licks up and down and all around. So not only is he a booty kisser, but he's a crack licker. Disgusting.
So he's been in the game for a long time, and all the people he started out with, they all surpassed him. The numbers is reflecting it. People done caught on to him, and nobody cares. Nobody cares about Jesse Lee Peterson, right? But for some reason, people still go onto the show, but it's not getting like, you know, he tries to get on there and does things for shock value, but people done caught on to him, man. And he he likes to just pile on black people, right? You know, he's one of them guys, man, he'll say anything to get the check from Master. Anything. He asks stupid questions like this.
What's wrong with the blacks?
I think about something that's said in a book of Ecclesiastes that I think addresses this, where he says, I've observed a great tragedy under the sun. I've seen slaves riding around on horseback, and I've seen princes walking about on foot as if they were slaves. And he's identifying the tragedy of a people not knowing who they are. If I had to give an answer to the question of what's wrong with the blacks, as you say, I would say we don't know who we are. And in order to know who we are, we must return to our creator. And it's only with that knowledge of self that we can walk in power.
So this guy's sitting here answering all the questions real serious, you know, mentioning black scholars, saying all kinds of stuff. Jesse Lee Peterson is just sitting there with his first grade reading level, looking real, I ain't gonna say it, but he just sitting there looking like, you know, just looking crazy, right? And he's like a 75-year-old troll, man. And all he does is troll black people. Now, y'all ever see that video when he was outside?
And Jesse Lee Peterson, ain't you getting tired of this, bruh? You pushing 80 years old and you still trolling, still being an obnoxious imbecile? How pathetic could you be, Jesse Lee?
With the microphone years ago, and the white lady said something racist to me. He was like, she's a racist. She's a and people started trolling him like, I thought W people wasn't racist. I thought it was only black people, right? Like he had already got exposed. But this guy right here, right, he's answering everything real serious, man. And Jesse Lee is just sitting there waiting for his chance to come in, you know, with with the ninja tree, just with the ninja stuff, right? Check it out.
Miles Monroe, the late Miles Monroe, said that the root of man's frustrations is his misconception of self. When you don't understand the purpose of a thing, abuse is inevitable. And I would say when I look around at my brothers and my sisters today in this country, I would say we don't know who we are. We've accepted all sorts of lies about our possibilities, all sorts of lies about our value, and we pursue those in the wrong way through the wrong things.
Now, this man is giving serious answers. I'm talking about serious answers. But in pure Jesse Lee Peterson's fashions, he's going to come back and ask some more weirdo stuff, right? And then get into racism and how the W man is discriminated against, and ask, do you believe in racism? And when you answer the question, Jesse Lee usually overtalks you and then takes over the show to try to belittle you and make you seem like you're ignorant, right? But at this point, the man that was the man on the show, he peeped what Jesse was trying to do, and he beat Jesse at his own game. He tore Jesse Lee Peterson up, right? And he reversed it and had Jesse on his seat, not knowing how to answer questions or being confused, right? It gets real crazy to the point where Jesse just was sitting there like this. Check it out.
Do you believe that does racism exist?
Depends what you mean.
Do you believe racism exists?
Depends what you mean.
Does racism exist?
Depends what you mean.
I'm sorry?
Depends what you mean.
It was just a question.
And I'm just stating a qualification for the question.
So you believe racism exists or not?
It depends.
On what?
What do you mean by racism?
It depends on what?
It depends on how you're using the word racism.
Well, I'm not. I'm just asking the question.
Are you telling me you don't know what you mean when you say the word racism?
Right now.
And what this brother is doing is something very simple, something very rudimentary, but most people don't do that. When people start asking you about things like racism, DEI, affirmative action, CRT, get them to define it clearly. Sometimes when they define it, that's not the actual definition. That's their made up definition and their interpretation and deduction of what they believe the definition is. So when they're asking you something and wanting to get your perspective and standpoint on something, it's imperative that both people are operating from a clear understanding of what the definition is. So Jesse Lee Peterson, the Sambo in him that he likes to throw out buzzwords. Do you believe racism exists and blah, blah, blah. And then as soon as you say that it does and you go into systemic racism towards Black people, he'll, switch it into some kind of Black on Black crime narrative. But he also will say that racism does exist, but towards the W people. So he likes to try to play these games. So it's very clear that if somebody is, spouting out these bigoted talking points, get them to define clearly what they are speaking about in terms of the systems, whether it be white supremacy, racism, DEI, or anything, because people like to throw buzzwords out without a clear definition. So you're arguing from a standpoint of something that's not really defined. It's extremely nebulous.
Are you telling me you don't know what you mean when you say the word racism?
Right now, it's just a question. And I'm asking you, do you believe that racism exists?
Right. It's a question that you're asking.
Yeah, does racism exist?
And in order to ask the question, you're using words. And those words are an expression of your thoughts. And since I don't know I can't read your mind, I'm asking you to tell me what the words you're choosing to use mean. Are you unwilling to do that? Or
so let me just ask, does racism exist?
What do you mean by racism?
So let me ask this.
Hey man, what's the best advice you can give someone that's insane?
Amazing. I want to put you on the hot seat because of time. They give me the time here. I want to put you on the hot seat. I need you to answer these questions as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Right?
Do you want me to give some thoughts about the nature of race in America?
Well, it doesn't seem like you know what it is or even what it means. So
I know that it's a word.
So this is how idiotic he sounds. He's saying it doesn't sound like he knows what it means or what it is. Then he clearly said it depends on what you mean. What do you mean by racism? And he never defines it. So now Jesse is trying to flip it back on him and saying, hey, well, it seems like you you don't know what it means. Let's just say that the brother doesn't know what it means. Why isn't Jesse defining what it means? It's his question. If you want to get a concise answer, you should be very concise and precise with your definition of what you're asking. Instead, Jesse Lee Peterson still doesn't answer this brother's question. What does he mean by racism? What is his definition? And since he's trying to pepper this dude with questions, presuming that he doesn't know what it means, why hasn't Jesse given a definition? So Jesse, like, man, get your head out of the W man's butthole. Let me rewind a little bit of that back.
That's possible.
Okay,
Right.
do you want me to give some thoughts about the nature of race in
Well,
America?
it doesn't seem like you know what it is or even what it means. So
I know that it's a word that gets used in different ways by different people. If you ask someone on the political right what racism is, you're going to get a totally different answer than if you ask somebody on the left. And I think you at least know that. So,
but I'm only asking you, I'm talking
Right.
to you right now.
yeah.
And I'm asking you if you believe that racism exists. Does
Yeah.
racism exist?
And I'm not sure what's so difficult or controversial about me asking a man what he means by the words that he uses. Are you unwilling to do that?
Now, Corey Holcomb could learn something from this brother here. Because this brother here know that Jesse Lee Peterson was trying to be disrespectful and trying to put him on a hot seat. He just totally just looked at him and just used words to reverse it on him to the point where Jesse Lee Peterson is remedial. He doesn't he doesn't know whether he's coming or going at times. He's just reading the cards that they halfway reading the cards that they told him to read, asking the same generic questions. And this guy was just like, I got something for you.
And this is Jesse Lee Peterson. It's supposed to be the Jesse Lee Peterson show. But of course, he has a boss and all sorts of things. Everyone has a boss and everyone answers to someone, right? But he's asking these loaded questions and telling the dude, hey, could you answer these questions kind of quick? We want to get through them. But this is supposed to be the Jesse Lee Peterson show. He's acting as if he's a boss and he's built his own platform. Instead, he's trying to rush this other brother off. And it's the same thing that people do on these CNN shows, Piers Morgan, etc. They'll have this extremely heated debate and say, okay, here's this loaded question and you got 30 seconds to answer. Like, isn't this your show? Why are you giving them 30 seconds to answer? You know what I mean? Why won't you? They'll do a 3-hour show about some BS and then the show's about something serious. Christians are being killed in Nigeria, and that will be a 30-minute show. And then they'll have a 4-hour show about trans bathrooms. So Jesse Lee Peterson is just like all these other content creators who claim that they're independent. All they try to do is just put out this kind of shock jock material that's supposed to entertain you, but it offers minimal to no enlightenment at all. But let's get back into it.
Going at times. He's just reading the cards that they halfway reading the cards that they told him to read, asking the same generic questions.
And it looks like we've been joined by some more illustrious guests. I would be remiss without giving the shout outs. Tay-Bay, in building. Big Rig Slaps, Travion, what it do in the building.
And this guy was just like, I got something for you. And basically, why are you asking me that? What does it mean? He asking him, what does it mean? And he said, well, if you can ask me a question about something, you can at least tell me what it means before I answer it, right? Because it has different meanings based off of different interpretations based off of who's expressing it, right? So now Jesse Lee Peterson is looking like a deer in the headlight. He's like, what, are you just going to answer the question? And the dude is like, yeah, I'll answer it when you tell me what do you mean. So listen, these dudes, the powers that be use Jesse because they know that Jesse, man, he's willing to do anything for that check. He don't care, man. He's going to be like this until it's time for him to go home. And listen, what he tries to do is he tries to pivot now and tries to go in another direction on the guy. But the guy, by this time, got him figured out. He's just sitting there and he's just playing with Jesse now because he knows that Jesse is not that articulate and or intelligent.
Let me ask you this.
All right, you got to stop buying generic Viagra. If y'all over 40, you can get 9 pills of 100 milligram generic Viagra for just.
Yeah. What do you think about the attack upon white people in America? they are being blamed for everything, especially white man. And then there's a genocide happening upon white people. They're being robbed and knocked out in the streets and businesses being robbed and everything. That. What do you think about the genocide upon whites in America?
Genocide?
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty picky and precise with my use of that term.
Of genocide?
Yeah, I have no conception of the word genocide.
So the W people should be outraged that, you know, he is trying to get them to play in the victim Olympics, the oppression Olympics. What did they say? Stop begging, stop complaining, pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. Cue the tiny violin. So here he is when it comes to Black people who have legitimate grievances that has been historically documented for century after century. Y'all need to stop begging and y'all need to get over it. All right, fine. We'll stop begging and we'll get over it. But then they turn around and now they are the ones begging. They are the ones saying that they're victims and being oppressed. They said systemic racism didn't exist, but suddenly it exists against W people? Like, are you kidding me? Jesse Lee Peterson, come on, bruh. Get the pink penis out of your mouth.
I'm pretty picky and precise with my use of that term.
Of genocide?
Yeah, I have no conception of the word genocide that would apply to any race in America right now.
So he goes and he asks another dumb question about the genocide of the W, man, in America. And they're being assaulted, unalived. They're having all these horrible things happening to them in America. Well, if it's happening to them, it has to be happening to them by their own people. Because in this country, people, ethnic groups hurt each other on proximity to where they live at. It's not Black folks hurting W folks and vice versa. No. W folks.
So this never gets brought up, right? They love to talk about Black on Black crime. What about Black on Black crime? It's like, first of all, why are you making it about race? I thought we lived in a colorblind society. We're all Americans, right? We're all God's children until it turns into crime. They're like, that was a Black person. That was a nigga. 1350 didn't do nothing. Suddenly they start making it about race when it comes to crime. Okay, fine. Most crime is intraracial. So that means most whites, commit crime against whites. Most Asians commit crime against Asians, et cetera, et cetera. Do you hear Asians talking about Asian on Asian crime or yellow on yellow crime? The Latino gangs are much larger, much organized, much more violent than the Crips and the Bloods. I present to you Tren de Aragua. I present to you MS-13, La M.A., Mexican Mafia, Colombian Cartel. Could anyone point me to a video and I'll pull it up right now? Find me a video of just one. All I need is one and I'll pull it up right now. One video of a Latino or a Hispanic talking about brown on brown crime, Hispanic on Hispanic crime. Could anyone in the chat please suggest me one? I'll pull it up right now. I would love to review that. Jewish people, are they innocent angels? Could someone find me a video of someone talking about Zionists on Zionist crime? Jewish on Jewish crime? Why is Black on Black crime the only, you talk about accountability. We seem to be the only ones holding our community accountable for crime. If we're not, tell me a link that I could pull up right now on these other communities calling their community out publicly in those terms. Don't worry. I'll wait.
To get hurt by their own people is just the media don't report it. So Jesse Lee Peterson, yeah, you're right. It's being done by their own people. But he's asking that question, intimating that Black people are doing this, which is not true. All in Indiana, Arkansas, Louisville, all these places, Idaho, Iowa, across America, Oklahoma, Texas, everywhere. Yeah, they're harming each other. They're doing these things to each other.
I disagree. If he's a comic, he's the worst comic ever, because what does he say that's funny? Amazing. That's not funny. That's actually extremely corny. People are laughing at him, not with him. That's not good comedy. And then he just says whatever. Actually, he doesn't. He says whatever about black people. He doesn't say whatever about white people. Everything he says is congratulatory, praiseworthy. I call it GAP. Glaze and praise. He be glazing white people like Krispy Kreme donuts fresh off the press at 5 a.m. in the morning. So no, this dude is not a comic. He is a imbecile.
Right? But this is the thing. They won't report that because the black man has to be the face of criminality in America. We have to be the face of everything. Right? So we talk about genocide. The people, the true genocidal maniacs of this country was the W folks, right? On indigenous blacks they brought from Africa, and the indigenous Native Americans, right? It's damn near a billion body count. The history speaks for itself, so we know he's being a troll. Now, when it comes to his lifestyle, he's been outed already as being a closet, backdoor boy. Right? A manhole, a lover of manhole. Yes, he loves manhole, right? Based off of what these W conservatives have been saying. It wasn't black folks that outed him. It was the W folks that he tries to protect so much, right? You got guys saying this.
I would say it's like having another producer in the room that knows exactly what your song needs. This is co-producer, the fastest.
Joseph Enders of the right-wing evangelical news outlet titled Christian Militant put together a documentary called Amazing Disgrace, which is a name that's admittedly clever. And in it, they talk to men who either had relationships with Jesse or claim that he made unwanted sexual advances towards them. Take a look.
These stories first came to light when Jesse's former co-host and alleged decade-long
Jesse the Booty Bandit Peterson. Look, I got a lot of homies. I got a lot of brothers. I got a lot of folks. Some of them I call my brothers. Some of them I say, hey, what's up, my nigga, right? And I love them, right? I love them. I don't have to say pause. I don't have to say no homo. Of all of my brothers that I love, you ain't gonna find not a one of the photos we took that look like this. I mean, I'm just saying, my cousin, shout out to my cousin Joe, my cousin Rashad, my cousin Brandon, my bro Spit, Travion, John, Big Riggs, right? Look, I love y'all. We ain't never taken no picture like this. Ever taken no picture like this. And matter of fact, hey, Jesse Lee Peterson, I gotta hit you.
With that freaky ass shit, nigga. You some freaky ass nigga. Fuck you mean? Get your freaky ass on. You know you freak. With that freaky ass shit, nigga. You some freaky ass nigga. Fuck you mean? Get your freaky ass on. You know you freak.
Let's commence.
Gay lover exposed him.
So we were sitting on the bed together, and all of a sudden he turned to me and just looked at me, and he said, "What do you want to do? What do you want to do?" And he said it in a tone that was really insistent, and I'd never seen this tone from him before. It was like kind of scary. It kind of scared me. Like what? What do you want to do? I knew what he meant, and then I told him, "Okay." And at first I'm scared, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm playing along here. It kind of threw me off my game, I guess, in a way. I think later I realized that's kind of something that people do sometimes. It's like the devil works in a certain way by intimidating you, and it throws you off your normal game. And so he said, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "Okay, I'm scared." And then I told him what I want to do. I mentioned sex acts, that he knew about, that I had already talked to him about, that I was interested in. And next thing you know, he's ripping his clothes off and coming at me, basically. And I did the same, took my clothes off. And next thing you know, we're fully at it, having, not getting detail here, but basically full-on sexual acts.
Former Bond House manager
50-year-old Robert Santner, alleges he witnessed similarly strange behavior in 2021 between Jesse and current Bond producer James Hake.
What I witnessed, him and Jesse were hugging each other intensely, rubbing each other's shoulder down stuff, and he came to a point where I actually saw him kissing him on the cheek and stuff on the hallway, and talking all kinds. I can't remember what the words he said.
This is wild. Bro was getting railed from behind saying, amazing. Amazing. That's why Mr. Amazing brought you to a hotel. This is wild, bruh. This dude is, supposed to be a bastion of conservatism. Let me rewind that back so we can get into Jesse Lee Peterson, the manhole loving maniac.
Kissing him on the cheek and stuff on the hallway, and talking all kinds. I can't remember what the words he said.
So while Jesse is constantly going in on black people, he got Brock back shots and Johnny Man opener exposing him. You know, he's been having wild whirlwind nights with Brock back shots in Lost at Sea 4, starring Jesse Lee Peterson, All Bros and No Hoes, 17, starring Jesse Lee Peterson, right? They're exposing all of this stuff. Pumping R16. They exposing him on all this stuff, right? But yet and still, he's still talking about black people. I mean, this dude is giving elaborate stories about the movies that they record, Night Shift 3, him and Jesse, right? He's telling how they was tearing each other's clothes off and just like wild animals getting at each other. But yet and still, he coming on here talking about black people. This dude is a weirdo, man. Jesse.
That is weird, right? He's getting railed from behind by a W man. He's fondling with man cheeks. And after he gets railed, he says, amazing, and then starts making content hating on black people. It's wild, bruh. So.
Lee Peterson is crazy, man. And when he got confronted about it, right, he gets upset. Now, mind you, when he's getting confronted, it ain't us that's confronting him because we don't care, right? We don't care. It's the W man blowing the whistle, pun intended, on him. Check this out.
Research about you.
So Jesse Lee Peterson is all about accountability, right? Let's see how he handles accountability, personal responsibility, right? He always likes to tell that to the black community. Let's say if he takes personal responsibility from getting railed from behind.
And this just kept coming up and up and up and up over and over again. And those are like the allegations. Like people kept saying, oh, Jesse, had a scandal with this guy, with that guy. Why are there so many allegations against you?
If I were you, I would not get into gossip. That's a woman's nature. So I don't get into gossip. Don't deal in gossip. I wouldn't do that, right? Because people tell me things about you and other folks, but I tell them to go to the person and forgive them and move on with your life and stay out of other people's business.
Yeah, but it seems like there was just like so many people.
I don't care if the whole world did it. It doesn't matter.
But why are there so many people like coming out?
You have to go to them. I told you I'm not going to do that. So you're not going to pull me down that road. You talk to them if you want more information about it.
Well, I want to ask you though.
And you said that you were not going to even ask me about this.
I never said that.
Yes, you did. You said that when I wanted to talk to you about it, I'll let you know.
I never said that. I never said I was.
When I was on your show, were you was on my show?
No, we never had this discussion.
Yeah, but I'm not going to discuss it with you.
Okay.
Because it's not your business, first of all, and it wouldn't do you any good. It'll just make your ego, because it seemed that you love gossip. It will make your ego feel good. But
now, when you look at this dude, he was real zesty in his explanation. Very zesty.
That explanation was zesty, moist. It was incoherent. He was stuttering and stammering. And one thing he didn't say was amazing. I wonder why that is. Where's the accountability, Mr. Peterson?
Zesty. And he's upset because they're blowing the whistle on him. You know, we know he can't go swimming, man, in deep water because he might sink. He open-ended, man. He open this way and in the back way. He going to sink if he goes swimming in deep water. He knows this, right? So now people is exposing him because he spent. And it's funny that it's the W man exposing him because, like I said, he done got old now, so they tired of his manhole. They want another young Sambo, another young black Sambo. That's what they want, right? They don't want him no more. So they just, when they finish with their tools, they break them. So now they just going to expose them and say, listen, yeah, black community, y'all was right, man. This dude was over here, man. This dude was over here with us, right? All this time. We was having our way with him. We done with him now, right? So now when he go on there with that W, man, that W.
Yeah, Mr. Amazing is all about getting in other people's business, but allegedly he's all about letting other people get inside some of his orifices. Ill.
Man, start to uncover stuff. He gets upset. I'm not going to talk about this now. This Jesse Lee Peterson dude is funny, man. But I like the way the black dude turned it against him, man, and said, listen, we ain't even doing this, right? And he just showed him how unintelligent Jesse Lee Peterson is. But y'all gotta let me know what y'all think, man. If y'all made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.
Okay, so that was a video from Street Media TV. So y'all can go check that out. The video is titled Jesse Lee Peterson Career is Over After Being Exposed on His Show by LGBTQ Liberals. That is the title of that specific video. So I got one more video that I'm going to get into. And this one I will be reacting to a video from none other than the brother Tim Black. So just give me this video. Let me pull this video up. Now, to give y'all some background on this story, I covered a couple stories that discussed Renee Nicole Good. She is the W woman. She was unalived by an ICE agent who claimed he feared for his life. And then he kind of pow-powed her, and she ended up, coming up on her expiration date. So now after that, this inspired, invoked, provoked some of the new Black Panther Party, or looks like it's the Tether Panther Party or the Taco Panther Party. And they decided, hey, look, we've been seeing black people be brutalized for years, and they've been kind of mum. We haven't heard a lot of publicity on them. We haven't heard a lot of moving and shaking from them. Suddenly, a W woman gets a fatality, and you hear from the Black Panther Party. I get it. All lives matter, right? All injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere, right? I get it. We know all the buzzwords. We know all the bumper sticker material, right? But it was called the Black Panther Party for a reason. And unfortunately, it has been infiltrated, just like the original Black Panther Party. Once we tried to do, because people always talk about this Rainbow Coalition, but it's always up to us to be leading the Rainbow Coalition. They talk about Fred Hampton. Yeah, Fred Hampton, he had a Rainbow Coalition, and the Young Lords and the Hispanics, and yeah, they were right there. Okay, cool. Why didn't they pick up the mantle when he was assassinated in his sleep as a 20-year-old, right? Fred Hampton was assassinated how many years ago? So where is this black and brown coalition, right? All of these other groups, they will say, oh, you guys are unorganized. Our IQs are higher. Our culture is better, and we got more money. Okay, cool. What have y'all done with all of those high IQs and money? What have y'all actually organized? Only thing they're organizing is more abortion clinics. Trans people should be able to compete in sports. Trans should be able to go to the bathrooms. That's what they're using their political muscle to fight for. But then when it comes to us, they want us to be the political doormats going out there and fighting for everyone. Open borders doesn't help us. Mass immigration doesn't help us. at all. We are the group that gets affected by it the most. They call us xenophobic, and then we say, okay, you know what? We are for open borders. Bring over as many immigrants as possible. But since y'all have the money, the resources, the high IQ, and the superior culture, how about we just drop them in your neighborhood? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. We didn't say all that. Don't drop them over there. Drop them over there with the niggas, with the blacks. It's like, but y'all are the ones who wanted open borders. Y'all are the ones who were calling them model minorities. So why don't you want to live next to them? You say, here, look, we'll give them loans to start up businesses because they need to live the American dream. It's just as long as they don't start up a business in a white neighborhood. So I'm saying all this to say we got bigger fish to fry. We got our own house to clean. If my house is messy, my house is not going to get clean by constantly helping the neighbor clean his house and constantly helping the people 2 cities over clean their house and helping people in 2 countries over clean their house. Once I've helped everyone else clean their house and I come back home, I'm coming home to a dirty house while I've helped everyone else clean their house spick and span. Does that make any sense to you? If you have kids and the neighbor has kids and you feed your kid first, are you going to feel bad that it's like, well, damn, the neighbor kids was hungry too? Well, look, hey, if you got some leftover food, then maybe we can help the neighbor's kid. But you wouldn't go feed that neighbor's kid before your kid. And that's what people are essentially asking people to do. Go crash out for a group. Now, this won't help your group at all, but it will make you feel good, right? It will make you feel morally sound. No, actually, it won't. But let's get into this video right here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up right here. And we're going to talk about how the Black Panthers have been infiltrated. So just give me uno momento and I'll pull this screen right up.
I want you not only to listen to what's said, but listen to the way it's said. Because every few years they dust off this revolutionary language. They turn the volume all the way up. They don't aim it at power. They don't aim it at the institutions. They aim it at us, Black Americans, at our emotions. This clip is not about protecting people. It's about provoking people. And if you listen closely, you'll notice something. The solutions are vague. The consequences, all ours, not theirs. I wonder why that is. Let's run it.
Won't no ICE agent ever run up on me. I guarantee you they won't. I'll put a hole in their chest the size of a window. Safe line repair, safe line replace. That's what's gonna happen. They touch me. Unarmed woman was killed by ICE. If you think you're about to come and brutalize the people while we're standing here, come around and find out. Our interactions with the police and ICE, and we hold them accountable. We hold them accountable. We patrol the community and we hold them accountable. The Black Panther Party for self-defense, we're the same Panther Party from back in the day, but we're a little more aggressive now, you dig? Carry bigger guns and we don't take no shit. Places where there are a lot of immigrants at, I think that the community around them needs to take special care to them and needs to start escorting them to and from everywhere to make sure that they're safe. Because them ICE agents ain't gonna act like that if it's a bunch of people standing outside with assault rifles and shotguns. It's a semi-automatic shotgun. That means some shotgun shells that shoot out of a pump, they shoot them rapidly. If you are gonna legally arm yourself with something bigger than what they got. Those who serve in the public, they should be fearful of the public. They should be fearful that the public is going to be dissatisfied with their job that they're doing, not feeling like they're tyrants, not feeling like they're bullies because they got guns and body armor and walkie-talkies. That makes them immune to whatever the people will do. I think you want to correct the ideology of the pig and the mentality of the slave catcher. You meet them with equal force. All power to the motherfucking people. No power to the pig.
You know, I can see some people applauding this. I'm not telling any.
Here we go again. I gotta hit him.
What? Hope, please. Nigga, please. Hope.
Nigga, what?
Nigga.
Nigga, please.
Nigga, please. What?
Bruh, sit your ass down. This dude over here, people are saying Huey P. Newton, no, Jose P. Newton, Horchata P. Newton. Come on, bro. What is this, man? The Amigo party? The dude, and look, man, we love everybody, but this dude is from some sort of immigrant background, some sort of Caribbean, Hispanic, Latino background. Nobody really knows how he identifies. He's racially ambiguous, right? And he's some sort of high-ranking official. So show me the black person, someone that identifies as black, that's a high-ranking official in any other racial group's movement. Show me the black person that's high-ranking official in any Asian movement. Show me the black person that's a high-ranking official in any Hispanic movement. So we are the only ones who's supposed to uphold this mythical people of color coalition and black and brown coalition when most of these people don't even identify as brown. So this sounds like Fed talk. I wish an ICE agent would run up on me. They're going to get a hole inside of their chest. Okay. And if you did that to an ICE agent, what do you think is going to happen to you? You ain't going to live to tell about it. So because he gets online and he's saying it with his chest, bloviating bluster, this is supposed to inspire us. But he has all this smoke for ICE agents who are doing their job. What about all the unarmed black people? He's not talking about escorting them. He's saying that we should be going around armed, escorting migrants to and from their places. Are you fucking kidding me? There's citizens right here who are not undocumented. He doesn't say anything about protecting them, but protect some undocumented citizens. This is what they voted for. Ain't that what they always tell? You guys get whatever you get because you keep voting Democrats. Well, how many times do I have to talk about the collective of Latinos? I will vote for Donald Trump. I will vote for Donald Trump. Okay, well, they voted for Donald Trump. So, I mean, what do you want me to bring out the Kleenex for? Over half of the Border Patrol are Hispanic Latino. Half of the ICE, Hispanic Latino. Not only did they vote for this, they signed up to be a part of this, deportation project or experiment. So, yeah. And see, this is the type of thing. No such thing as an undocumented citizen. Let me guess, you're the type that says, no one's illegal on stolen land. Okay, go over there to Mexico and see what they say. Go to Mexico right now. Mexico was stolen, so no one should be illegal on Mexico. Waltz over there and see what they say. Go to Japan and see what they say. Actually, Israel is our greatest ally, right? Go to Israel and say that. So yeah, there is such thing as an undocumented citizen. That's why they call it. Or it's not an undocumented citizen, it's an undocumented immigrant. Or some would say an illegal immigrant or an illegal alien. Hey, this is not my terminology. Take it up with the U.S. State Department. Okay. So undocumented immigrant or illegal immigrant, whichever you prefer. Or illegal alien.
Anybody what to believe. I'm just asking a question. Who's going to pay the price if anybody acts on this? Is it going to be Michael Ealy over here or us?
I deposited $400,000 from my life insurance policy into my checking account.
Some undocumented people who have been arrested by ICE, who were put in detainment, died in the custody of the state. And we've had a lot of deportations, right? We all agree with a lot of deportations. These people died. And I understand the importance of saving lives. I get that. And any death is one too many if that's your loved one. If you got a chair empty at your table, you don't give a damn what the number is. One's too much. Now, this is where I need Black America to slow down. Because history's taught us one thing. America has no problem leaving Black America holding the bag. 32. 32 is the number in 2025. The number of migrants who died in ICE custody or in detention centers across the country. And all those states that we went to, all those states that Trump sent those ICE people to, and 32. All the detention centers, the Alligator Joint, the other place, all those detention centers. Do you realize nationally we're looking at about 10,000 Americans? In fact, family, if you're going to be at the cost.
And see, this is where the people lose me. The pro-lifers lose me. The lefty liberal lunatics, the people who are America first, the bleeding hearts who say, you know, oh my God, the ISIS, the Gestapo. There have been 32 fatalities in ICE custody in detention centers. Okay, that's 32 too many. Meanwhile, there's been over 10,000 American citizens that have died in various prisons. If you were going to be locked up, you'd rather be locked up in ICE prison, as much as they're trying to say that the ICE, the facilities, that the conditions are so horrible. They're a lot better than what they are in prison. So, I mean, if this is really about the numbers and people are dying and we want due process and people to be treated humanely, I mean, I'm no math whiz, but what's a bigger number? 32 or 10,000? So there's no wall-to-wall coverage of the 10,000 Americans that are dying for various reasons and while they're incarcerated. But 32 migrants for various reasons have died. And that's front page, wall-to-wall news. You know, we have to hear every time, are we living in Nazi Germany? The ISIS like the Gestapo. Oh my God, it's masked men. Have you ever lived in a hood? There were always unmarked cars. There were always people that were masked jumping out. There were always people that were undercover jumping out. And sometimes they didn't reveal they were a cop until they already had you handcuffed or on the ground or brutalized in a compromised situation. Where were all the bleeding hearts for us? Oh, because y'all thought that we deserved it. And you know, that's what you niggas get. Okay, fine. That's what we get. So same energy, same logic. Isn't this what these people get if they came here illegally? Right? I guess it just is what it is.
Somewhere in this country, in this United States of America, you should hope it's in a nice detention center. You got a lot less chance of having your life taken in a nice detention center than you do a federal penitentiary or a state prison. It ain't even close. But you don't hear the Black Panther Party talking about going to do something about that.
The American media doesn't talk about anything unless they want to demonize Black people. They want us front and center to take the bullets, to be the doorman. But when it's time to dole out tangible benefits, they're going to give it to everyone. And they'll use buzzwords. Hey, we gave it to people of color, marginalized groups, overlooked groups. All of those things just keep us at the bottom because it's very vague and nebulous and not specific. And, they do talk about Black Americans front and center, but only when they can frame us as the villain.
No ICE agent ever run up on me. I guarantee you they won't.
You don't hear about the Black Panther Party showing up when it go retaliate against the cops that are operating with the state to incarcerate primarily Black Americans. But you mean to tell me you want to rile up Black Americans to go out and get charges, football number years, defending people that aren't even legally in the country against U.S. federal agents, using lethal force so that they don't get deported, not hunted.
Another thing too, bro was talking big stuff. Man, see, we just a little bit more aggressive and we got bigger guns. Bro, the guns that you got are some toys compared to what they got. They got robot dogs. They got AKs, ARs. They got tasers, all sorts of tanks and military. So, bro, stop acting like you can compete with them firepower for firepower. And the firepower that he had, he had a shotgun. Bro, you're supposed to have a long rifle. Like, what are you doing? He don't have no AR or come on, bro. How many rounds did he even have? Did he have a plate carrier? No. So, bruh, you didn't even have any type of advanced or specialized weaponry. And you talking like, yeah, man, we got bigger guns. The people in the 2A community see the type of artillery he had and seen it as a joke. Now, you can get that off on the lay person and say, yeah, man, we got bigger guns and we aggressive. Like, come on, bruh. You're not built for war and you're not ready. Not with that weapon that you got. You need to step it up, but you need to be stepping it up for the Black American community. Yes, I support universal policies and helping everybody else. Otherwise, don't call yourself the Black Panther Party. Call yourself the Pink Panther Party. If he was representing the Pink Panther Party, do whatever you want. But to try to tether onto the Black Panther Party's legacy and make it seem like you're pushing it forward, the Black Panther Party was doing all sorts of mutual aid. They were doing health clinics. He's talking about self-defense, but what about all these other opportunity things? Yeah, maybe he's doing it. Why isn't he speaking about it in terms of educational attainment, tutoring, things like that? Him just running around with these guns that, you know, are not scaring anybody. It's like, come on, bro. Like, whose man is this?
And terminated on sight like a Terminator movie, but arrested, processed, and deported if that's the outcome. That's what you're telling me? Meanwhile, we got 10,000 American U.S. citizens.
Yeah, he's not FBA. I believe they looked into his background. I think he is some sort of, I think he's like Puerto Rican / indigenous / Caribbean, who knows? He's just a mix of a whole bunch of things, but he definitely ain't FBA. And he said he ain't gonna kill or let none die. Yeah, well, he definitely ain't gonna let any more Lily W people die. But as far as Black people, he could give a flying flip. Selling wolf tickets is all. Yes, he's selling some high price wolf tickets. Like, bruh, you're not a threat, you know what I mean, to the established order. He's over here, man, we got big guns, and if an ICE agent touch me, I'm gonna put a hole in him. And the moment you put a hole in them, they gonna blow your head off to smithereens. So let's get real, bruh. And we got none other than Sincere Saida in building. Let's get back into it.
Who pay the salaries of all these people above. I just want you to let that marinate for a second and consider the hypocrisy we talking about. This is what I call my Mike Tyson knockout punch. That joint they didn't even see coming.
And see, this is the whole thing when they like to talk about the Brown Berets and the Young Lords and the Rainbow Coalition. Fred Hampton was a 20-year-old man assassinated in his sleep while he slept next to his wife with his kids in the house, right? And they talk about how much, oh man, he was really uniting people. So if he was uniting people and then he got assassinated, wouldn't the people that he was allegedly united with, wouldn't they want to pick up the mantle and keep pushing it forward? Why don't you hear anything about the Brown Berets and Young Lords today? Right now, they keep complaining, oh my God, the Gestapo, they're going after Latinos. Okay, this would be the perfect time for a Rainbow Coalition, a Young Lord type, Brown Beret type group to come. Where are they? Oh, you know why? Because when Black people were fighting for civil rights, many of these Mexicans, specifically Hispanics in general, but it wasn't just various Hispanic groups, so Mexicans mainly were over here. Mexicans were fighting for Chicano rights, You see the difference? We fight for civil rights, which is all lives matter, universal policy, civil rights. That means for everybody. That's what we fought for. Other groups, they fought for ethnic and national specific rights. I'm not Chicano, so how does fighting for Chicano rights help me? It doesn't. But me fighting for civil rights helps Chicanos. So we fight to help everybody else, and then they go in their enclaves and fight specifically for them until it's time that they feel that they're in some sort of pressure. And then it's like, blacks, come out and help us. We don't like you niggas. We don't like you mayates, you chongos, but come out and help us. And then after you help us, then you niggas go back in the corner. That's pretty much what every group has done. Because we're so loving, we still come out because we try to say, well, you know, that's only some of them. It's not all of them. It's only a few. And it doesn't matter if it's all. It matters if it's a significant amount. If I give you a delicious pizza and it's a turd on one of the slices, it's not on all the slices, but you're going to want to throw that whole pizza out. You're not going to want to hear an explanation that, oh, there's only a turd on one slice. So even if it's not your whole collective group, it's a problematic amount that you refuse to call out. How are we going to coalition build like that? We can't coalition build operating from a place that's a lie, right? I always say these other groups, they like to bash us. You guys have no culture. You have a culture of degeneracy. You're low IQ sub-Saharans. Okay, we've heard that. That would mean on the flip side, you're not low IQ. You have a superior culture and you have more money than us. Why haven't you guys created these coalition building groups that helps and uplifts and enrich everybody? Why are they still quoting MLK? Who is the Latino version of MLK? Don't worry, I'll wait. Who is the Asian version of Fred Hampton? Don't worry, I'll wait. Who is the white version of Malcolm X or Medgar Evers?
Now they're talking about defunding and getting rid of, abolishing ICE. Now they're back to talking about that. Oh, you mean to tell me you think that Joe Biden didn't make abolishing ICE a thing because he just didn't think about it? You mean to tell me all of these liberals these?
Yes, because there's no race called Latino. There's no race called Hispanic. Latinos and Hispanics were created in like the 1970s. They created them to consolidate whiteness and to create a buffer group. Sammy Sosa is Latino. AOC is Latino. Is AOC and Sammy Sosa the same race? Cardi B is Latina. Jennifer Lopez is Latina. Are they the same race? They're both Latinas, right? So many Latinos, they've always identified as racially white because there's no race called Latino, i.e. the Cubans. Many of those Miami Cubans, right? They come over here. They align with the Republicans because they see themselves as white. And technically they are. Many of them are racially white. Even the ones that are not racially white, they try to say, hey, I know Black Poppy. I'm Latino. Yeah, but there's no race called Latino. There's no race called Hispanic. So, you know, yeah, that's your ethnic identifier. But then when you ask them what their race is, like Bad Bunny, he's Puerto Rican. Yeah, there's no race called Puerto Rican. So what race is Bad Bunny? He's Hispanic. Okay, but that's not a race. So what race is he? And it just keeps going back and forth where people act confused about race, ethnicity, and nationality. And then they try to tell you, well, stop making it about race. And then we say, okay, fine. We're done with race. We're done with flat blackness. We're foundational Black American freedmen. No, you have to make it about race. And you guys are all one big generic African. Like it just goes back and forth. Kind of tired of these games. But let's just get back into the video.
These other folks didn't think about it. And it's not about the individuals. It's about the system. What I'm trying to say, fam, let me just say it. The system knows what it's doing, and those people within the system know what's going on. They just can't be honest. While in power, no ideas. They only come up with ideas when they're out of power. This It's not a defect. It's not a bug. It's a feature of our political parties and how they operate. It is the system operating the way it was designed, but it's a certain kind of disgusting, man, when you got the Black Panther Party coming out trying to rile up young, impressionable people that can't think straight to do things that their president, their former president, couldn't be bothered to lift his pen and do. And if you're upset truly about people being mistreated, get in line. I just told you, the number of migrants being actually impacted with loss of life behind these raids are even a drop in the bucket.
And we have to stop pretending like Trump is doing these mass deportations. He's not. He is failing at deportations. He promised, overpromised, and he is under-delivering. There's a reason why they called Obama the deporter in chief. Biden opened up the border. Some say on the low end, 5 million. Others say anywhere between 30 to 50 million. And this is over the collective amount of time, not just with Biden, but just them continuously flooding the border and allowing it to go in. So let's just deal with the low end of 5 to 10 million illegal, undocumented aliens is what they would call, right? Trump is nowhere even close to his goal, which said he wanted to deport 1 million people a year. He's deported a few hundred thousand out of millions and millions and millions of people that flooded the border. So it's a drop in the bucket, not even 1%. A scintilla is what he's doing. And what he's doing is controversial deportations. He's doing a lot of bigoted deportations with his rhetoric and language. But in actual practice, yes, his efforts towards deportations have been failing and feckless. Like, we have to be honest about that. So people are trying to conflate, oh my God, look how people are scared to go outside because of ICE. Okay, the numbers are the numbers. You know, they say facts don't care about your feelings. When people are in black neighborhoods, they call Chicago Chirac. It's supposed to be a war zone. So if I'm living in Chirac and I'm scared to walk down the street, no one cares. They're like, oh, just pack up and move, bro. So if these people are scared of ICE, then hey, just pack up and move, go to another country. That would be considered insensitive. Well, why don't you have a heart? I can't be the one having a bleeding heart and people are unsympathetic to my people's plight. Y'all know my slogan, Cecil, SESL, same energy, same logic. I don't want to be cruel. I don't want to be harsh. But I can't just be so loving, so benevolent without facing the harsh realities of society. I have to deal with things as they are, not as I wish them to be. I mean, I wish this was just a racial utopia where we all were clicking our heels and holding hands. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire while we're telling scary stories and singing Kumbaya. Yeah, I wish that was the case. It's not the case. Could it be the case in the future? Yes, but it doesn't serve anyone's purpose to pretend like that's how it is right now. People live in segregated enclaves and people are not working to change that. All you got to do is look at Chinatown. Why isn't Chinatown a people of color town? Why isn't it a minority town or a marginalized group town or a Asia town? No, they want it to be Chinatown and they wanted to maintain its ethnic and national cultural sovereignty. Okay, fine. Why is there a Japantown, a Koreatown, a little Haiti, a little Cuba, Spanish Harlem? All of these places they want to delineate. They want their own place. They want to become transplants. But then when we say, you know what, we're American freedmen, and you know what, y'all can have y'all little Haiti and y'all little Cuba, little Havana over there, your little Saigon, but we want our own enclave as well. That's racism. That's reverse racism. It turns into that. But like having your own Chinatown, that's not racist. That's not reverse racist. Koreatown is not a racist. But having your own FBA Freedman town in enclave, somehow everyone should be entitled to that. Does this make any sense to you? I know it doesn't.
Compared to everybody else, not even on the radar. It's just being focused on. So it looks like a lot. It is not a lot of people. That is not what is happening.
Here we go again. Another faceless troll and a low IQ lunatic. If you really believe this, do you use phones, drive cars, use electricity, HVAC, hospitals, microwaves, etc.? You are still in white culture. You know, a lot of these inventions wasn't even by white people, and white people stole it from the enslaved black people that they had created. So clearly you don't know your history. And when people say it's white culture, you had no hand in this. It's funny because they'll always be like, hey, well, I never owned any slaves. And you never built a phone. You didn't build a car. You didn't create electricity. You didn't create the HVAC or hospitals. But somehow you try to tether on to the accomplishments of the ancestors. You're not no Anglo-Saxon. I'm sure that you came from a peasant background where you were fleeing famine, filth, feudalism, and failure. You were failing in your homeland. That's why you had to immigrate here. But you're trying to tether on to white culture. This is not your culture, dude. Like, get for real. And people have always self-segregated, Irish, Italian, Jewish, but no, what you guys try to say is that it is self-segregation. But when someone is redlining you, that's not self-segregation. That's segregation codified in law. So even if we allegedly wanted to self-segregate, if we were already self-segregated, why would it have to be codified in law? So just stop with the lies, bro. And this says, you're right, Jack, and clearly you don't know how to spell. Where's the apostrophe? Is your, not your. And then here he says there are white inventions. You didn't invent anything. Just like you always say, you guys did. I never owned a slave. Yeah, and you didn't invent anything. So stop tethering and leeching onto something that you didn't do. You didn't invent anything. You haven't even invented a profile picture for yourself. Let's get real, Jack.
Theatrical. Who knows what they're doing now? They're probably putting all types of stuff in our food and our water, our air. I don't know what's going to make it. They're probably making a new robot species while we're focused on this, because this has sucked all the air out the room. Folks, in 2025, we're talking about 30 people. We lose 30 people on a weekend in Chicago. And now you want to come out with street sweepers.
Excuse me, sir, how old were you when you made your first million?
What is this for?
We're trying to get advice for the younger generation.
Most unserious, high-yelling Negro I've seen in a long time is that dude right there. Go back to Juilliard or the School Without Walls, wherever the Fame Institute of Acting, or wherever you got your acting degree from, sir. I see through it. Black America, stand down.
And yeah, not only that, it seems like, unfortunately, many of the low IQ lunatics, it's just like they don't know their history. So let me hit y'all with some scholarship, and I'll just give y'all some, not all, because many of the inventions that enslaved people made, they had no rights to it because they were enslaved. So when they created something, their massa took credit for it. So you say, hey, look, that was white culture. Actually, it wasn't. White culture was stealing and taking credit for things that they didn't create. And the dude in the chat who's trying to say white culture this, it's like, bruh, you're an immigrant. Like, you're not an Anglo, bruh. So like, stop acting like your family, you have lineage from the Mayflower. But you want to talk about Black culture? Let's talk about Garrett Morgan, the traffic light. Everybody knows what the traffic light is and what purpose it serves. That was from a Black American, Garrett Morgan, invented in 1923. He made the 3-position traffic signal, which made roads safer for drivers and pedestrians worldwide. You want to talk about culture? Not only that, Garrett Morgan made the gas mask. His invention in 1912 helped protect workers and soldiers from smoke, hazardous gases, influencing modern gas masks. You want to talk about culture? Shall we commence? The automatic elevator doors. Alexander Miles did this in 1887. Elevator users had to manually close doors, which was a safety hazard. He made them automatic. The fire escape ladder, Joseph Winters, invented in 1878. The automatic gear shift, Richard Spikes, 1932. The railway telegraph system, Granville T. Woods, 1887. The airplane toilet system, James Henry, 1980s. The home security system, Marie Van Britten Brown. She patented the first home security system in 1966. You want to keep talking about culture? The pencil sharpener, John Lee Love. And all of these are foundational Black American freedmen. The dustpan, right? We come from a culture of cleanliness, right? You can keep things clean if you got a dustpan. Lloyd Ray, 1897. The folding chair. And y'all remember what we did with that folding chair in Alabama when those W supremacists start acting wild. 1911. Shall I continue? Blood banks and plasma preservation, Dr. Charles Drew. Groundbreaking in blood storage led to the first blood bank and saved countless lives. That's Black culture. Cataract laser surgery device, Dr. Patricia Bath, 1986. The first successful open heart surgery, Dr. Daniel Hale Williams, 1893. Black culture. The disposable syringe, Phil Brooks. The first large-scale human heart surgery, Vivian Thomas. The first video game cartridge, Jerry Lawson, 1970. The modern cell phone microphone, James West, 1964. Caller ID in call waiting, Dr. Shirley Ann Jackson. The portable fax machine, Granville T. Woods. I can go on and on. That's Black culture. So we're going to get ready to wrap up this video. I thank all of y'all that came here to view this concurrently, and the ones that will be watching this on the replay. Y'all can be anywhere in the world. Y'all chose to be here with me, at least momentarily. And for that, I thank you.
Chill. People with common sense, stand down. Black America, stand down. Chill. People with common sense, stand down. Chill. Hope I'm explaining how the systems work. In fact, fam, I have...
Dude, you're literally making my point. My people came here during the Civil War from Ireland. You're an immigrant. Just like I said, when your people came here in the Civil War, they were failing. If they had it popping in their homeland, they would have stayed there. Instead, they were failing. Many of them were beggars. Many of them were peasants. That's why they came over here, and they were indentured servants, because they were peasants fleeing potato famine. They were being oppressed by their own people. They came over here and they were considered Irish niggers. And instead of uniting with us, they did it momentarily in Bacon's Rebellion. And then the W dominant society gave them some butter biscuits that we were both getting crumbs. And then they said, here, instead of the crumb, we'll give you a butter biscuit. And that was enough to sell out the blacks. You know what I mean? And they always talk about how they were treated bad. They were treated bad by people that looked like them. And they took it out on people who didn't look like them. How cowardly could you be?
A graphic. The Tim Black Show, most dangerous show in America, 2024 fiscal year death.
And this should be an eye opener right here. U.S. ICE detention deaths in 2024, total 12. This shows the amount of deaths in just Texas state prisons. We're not talking about Cali. We're not talking about New York. We're not talking about the dirty South. I mean, even though Texas is part of the South, what is a bigger number, 176 or 12? So all of the pro-lifers, oh my God, ISIS, the Gestapo, this is Nazi Germany. So they care about people dying in the ICE detention center, but they don't care about people dying in the state prisons where the conditions are much more severe and harsh. Make it make sense.
Texas prisons versus USA ICE detentions. This is 2024. 176 to 12. There goes the graph. Makes sense. Snap this. Get your screenshot, fam. Big difference. And remember, that's just Texas. That's not New York, California, Illinois, Maryland. It's just Texas. Okay. Now here goes the kicker. This is the 2025 updated version. ICE detention deaths, 32. Bigger number. Sad, disgusting, horrific.
Now, I'm no mathematician, but just answer me this. What is a bigger number, 6,000 or 32? So we've gotten to a point in this country, since we want to try to do all lives matter. Now we mean all lives matter, and all countries matter, and all people matter. It doesn't matter if they're citizens or not, which I get that from a morality standpoint, from a human standpoint. But we can't turn around and say that we're a nation of laws and then we're trying to make exception for people because, well, who's going to pick the fruit? I mean, those prisoners are American citizens. They can go pick the fruit just like they can go put out the fires. They're already building license plates and cell phones and things like that. We have enough people to do the labor. We need to pay decent wages, not keep trying to undercut the labor and stagnate the wages. But let's just talk about the death toll, 6,000 compared to 32. What is a more pressing issue? People are not talking about prison reform or anything like that. They're not calling the prison guards Nazis or Gestapo. But suddenly the ICE detention centers are Gestapo. They want Latinos to feel bad. How could you be a Latino and sign up for ICE? Well, they were giving out 50K sign-in bonuses, and Latinos were signing up to be ICE before that. So it's okay to be black and an ICE agent. It's okay to be white and Asian and an ICE agent, but somehow it's offensive and sacrilegious to be a Latino and an ICE agent. Does this make any sense to you? Half of the Latino agents are part of Border Patrol and part of ICE, and they voted for this. I will vote for Donald Trump. I will vote for Donald Trump. They knew what Trump was going to do. So why would I be crashing out for them? This is democracy. You get what you voted for. And if this is what they wanted, who am I to interrupt the will of the people?
Here goes our conservative estimate of 6,000. Very conservative. It's more like 10,000 annual deaths in U.S. prisons and jails in 2025. And that's a 188.
And this is a point that I always make. Like Trey says, immigrants can't handle 7 months of this ish. Try 400 years. And this is the thing. They be saying, you guys keep complaining. Why y'all complaining? Why y'all begging? It ain't that bad. This ain't a racist country. So I say, you know what? We said it was a racist country. Y'all said it wasn't. So you know what? Ain't no racism. Ain't no systemic racism. Whatever is happening is supposed to happen, right? We're a nation of laws. It's funny, right? Because we're supposed to be able to be called mud sharks, niggers, jungle bunnies, all this other type of stuff. We supposed to just take that on the chin. It's just words, right? But some of these other people, they can't even be taken called illegal alien. We're supposed to be called nigger, and like, it's just a word. Why are you giving power to the word? Okay, fine. You keep saying the N word and I'll keep calling you an illegal alien. Is that fair? There's people that have been getting lynched based on, saying no niggas allowed. I haven't seen no one getting lynched that said no illegal aliens allowed. All you hear are some people that are complaining, but nothing is really happening to them. I understand why Dems are so focused on ICE, because they can control the minds of immigrants, but can't control the minds of American freedom. And well, they see these immigrants as their new voter constituency. So they've said, hey, look, we're done with the blacks. We're just going to do some symbolism, and those goofy Negroes is going to vote for us anyway. So now they're trying to pander towards the Hispanics and say, look, we love you guys so much, and this is what we're going to do for you. We ain't doing nothing for them niggas, but we will do something for you. So that's really all this is about, pandering and catering towards a new constituency. And both parties support open borders. It's not a Democrat thing.
To 1 death ratio. Please screenshot this. Share it with whoever you want. And shut them down.
Smart.
Okay, so that was the video. That was the brother Tim Black reacting to the taco tether, the horchata P. Newton that tried to hijack what the Black Panther stood for and trying to get us to crash out for ICE. He's giving off a lot of Fed energy, but who knows? Look, 'tis the season to hold your own nuts. Every time we have an issue, everybody else tells us, hey, it's up to you to go fight for your own issues and what is important to you. So I'll say that's fair. We're too busy focused on fighting for our issues that we can't come and crash out for your issues. I'm sure you will understand. It's no shade. It's no hate. It's just business, not personal. So I'm going to get ready to shut her down. I wasn't going to be here for a long time, but I'm sure it was a strong time. I do appreciate everybody that came through to view this live concurrently, and that will be watching this on the replay, gang. The viewership has been viewing, and I sincerely thank you. I'm going to hit y'all off with some few closing visuals. Hopefully y'all stick around, engage in the chat. This has been a fruitful stream, and I'll be back to hit y'all with another one tomorrow, an impromptu stream. Not sure exactly when I'm going to do it, but I will do it because I want to, continuously interact with the people. Salute to y'all. Love y'all. And here's a friendly reminder. Time for a intermission. We kindly request that you show love to the channel's creator and platform by leaving a like, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest content. Liking posts is completely free and helps the algorithm boost our reach. We want to grow the community larger and larger. So thank you all who take the time to support us. It does mean the world to us and doesn't go unnoticed.
Think it's about time
I need cash. Nigga, where my money?
And MWP says, Donovan Sadiq, salute to Donovan Sadiq and my sister Demetra K. Says Dems are worse than Republicans for allowing open borders. Yes, it's kind of like the analogy that Malcolm X was talking about, the wolf and the fox. You see the wolf with his eyes glowing, his fangs showing, but the Democrats are like the cute, cuddly fox. You think the fox is harmless. Oh, look at that cute fox. Next thing you know, you turn around to get a drink of water and this fox mauls you. At least with the wolf, you can see the wolf coming from a mile away. With the fox is so deceptive that it allows them to get close enough to you, close enough to be in fatal striking position. So yes, the Dems are worse than the Republicans, but they are the same. Two cheeks on the same booty, two fangs on the same viper. But before we get out of here, you know, I'm gonna hit you.
Yeah. Hey. Hey. B-Eazy Dat Dude, yeah. Hey. Shit so hot it's burning up. Just go ahead and turn this up. I bring the pain like an aftermath of a car wreck. It's a lot of niggas that say they real. To me, that shit is far-fetched. Them cats is pussy. They really is on some feminine stuff. I ride up on them with the 40 ounces. The definition of adrenaline rush. What it do is sweet like cinnamon puffer. My niggas is rough like Willow Pass. Grew up out on Mary Mac, but I used to hang on Willow Pass. These birds that I roll with, outcasts and misfits. For the zip lips so you get hit when the fifth spit. Flatline in your fit hit. Trap habits is black magic, no voodoo. Get the bands like Buku. For the cocaine, they go cuckoo. Most these niggas is foo-foo, so I'm shitting on them like doo-doo. I can't fuck with y'all like tofu. I'm just saying, man, like Goku. Bad bitches at the house with me watching Netflix or Roku. Fuck them both at the same time, and I swear to God, it was so cool. Street legend, real boss, I call shots cause I'm still saucy. I know some G's to the bike crack on shite racket and fly back out the mill. When they hear me flow, they say I be burning up, burning up. Cookie to the draw is what we burning up, burning up. What you ain't know, oh, we burning up, burning up. This shit so hot, it's burning up. Just go ahead and turn this up. When you hear me flow, say I be burning up, burning up. Cookie to the draw is what we burning up, burning up. What you ain't know, oh, we burning up, burning up. This shit so hot, it's burning up. Just go ahead and turn this up.
B-Eazy Dat Dude. B-Eazy Dat Dude. Yeah, they know the name. Stacking up the paper, but having money ain't a thing. Standing on business, burning hotter than a flame. From the block to the ballroom, you gotta stand the rain. B-Eazy Dat Dude. Yeah, they know the name. Stacking up the paper, but having money ain't a thing. Standing on business, burning hotter than a flame. From the block to the ballroom, you gotta stand the rain. B-Eazy Dat Dude, yeah, they know the name. B-Eazy Dat Dude.
You love me.